Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. We're going to be doing some more of Jango Fett, and today I'm going to be doing one of the more intricate parts of the costume, and that is the gauntlets. So let's go. Now once again I've picked up a fantastic kit for these gauntlets. Again, you could make them from scratch yourself, you could pick up different kits, you could 3D print these, but I have one of the best, if not the best kits on the market, which is a kit from a maker called Cruzer. You can check them out over on sites like the Dented Helmet, which is for all your Boba Fett and sort of Mandalorian bounty hunter costume needs. If you need info, go there, check it out. Yeah, this is a set of Cruzer gauntlets, so let's have a look. So this is what the kit looks like. These are made of cold cast fiberglass. So they are very strong and they've got an actual metal powder finish on the top. They look a hell of a lot like metal, but they are sort of like a gel fiberglass. With kits like this, as opposed to say like a vacuum form one, with vacuum form ones you get very sort of rounded over edges. You can't get it crisp, whereas this, because it's been kind of molded and cast into there, you get these very crisp lines and it just looks really beautiful. So we've got two sort of under halves and two outer halves, and then there's a lot of stuff that goes on it. We've got all these extras that need bolting on. We've got a hell of a lot of extras in here. There's hinges, so there's one side that has a solid hinge and then the other that has a hinge that you do up, so we've got to do that. And there's a lot of hardware and buttons in there. It does come with the correct kind of tubes, and these tubes go from the gauntlets up into the sleeves of the flight suit. I think these have been dyed the correct color, so there's those as well. But other than that, it's making sense and getting all this together. Now there are some really comprehensive instructions which I found online. I think they were done by Cruzer himself on how to put these together, so we're just going to be following those, and yeah, hopefully by the end we'll have a lovely set of gauntlets. So I've just received this in the mail and I'm super excited. Check that out. Oh my god. So this is a machined dart for the gauntlet. This is from a maker called Machinecraft Replicas in the US, and I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Look at it. Look how cool that oh, it's so good. So it's made out of aluminium and brass, and it's hollow. And I think everything all unscrews, so unscrew that, and this guy unscrews. Yeah, so that makes painting a whole lot easier. There's some tapped holes at the bottom to take some screws, so we can screw that to the gauntlet when it's done. But I'm just going to paint this up with my airbrush. There's some parts of this that need to be black, but that's pretty much it, and then this is ready to go on. I love sort of clean machine things that screw together. It's so satisfying. This just adds that next level of detail to the gauntlets, and it just makes them look a whole lot more legit, having an actual, it's not heavy, but it adds that significant weight, and it just looks the part. It's so clean. So I'm going to crack out my airbrush and just give parts of this a coat of black that need to be black. Of course, we've got to do a degrease first and get all the, not only my oily fingers, but whatever residue might be on here off, so we can do a clean paint job. So first degreasing, then painting. So there we go, that's just been given a coat of black, and I've done a satin quick drying varnish over the top. That should be enough just to protect it for now. And yeah, let's get it unwrapped and see how we did with the masking. Okay, I don't know what went on here, but we've had some major peeling. This one's not really a problem. This one I might have to just touch in a little bit, but overall, just gonna leave it as it is, I think. I don't think I need to go in again. That's gonna be near the bottom anyway, and I think we can weather it in. My little end guy too, you can go back in. Now in terms of weathering with paint, I'm just going to do it all when the gauntlets are together, but I am just going to hit this now with some really high grit sandpaper just to highlight the edges, and I think it should look really cool.
So I use the heat gun to shape the underpiece so that now these line up much better. You can see they line up much better both sides. And now we've got to attach the invisible hinge on this side. Now this hinge comes like this, and to put them on you just have to close and then run a pin all the way down. This is exactly how they were done in the movie. So we've got to attach this to both halves, and then we'll be able to clamshell that onto my forearm just with the little pin. So I now have both the gauntlets set up with hinges on both sides. On the outside you have this detachable hinge, so they can open and be closed on your arm seamlessly. So that's the outside and it looks great. Now I've got to work on doing all the attachments. I've started drilling out holes like up here, and there's various switches and things that go in each of the holes. I've got a rocket that goes up here and lots of attachments to add to the side. Now these are just going to be cleaned up, and then just more hole drilling and gluing really. So here we have the flamethrower section, which has to go onto this gauntlet. Now it goes over here, and it's going to sit like that. Now I have this receiver unit. Now this is a unit that's going to activate my helmet stalk to rotate. I'll cover that in a future video, but it's got to sit in here. Now this doesn't fit in here, but I've contacted the maker of this whole unit, and he says it should run on a set of 3 AAA batteries instead of the AA's that go in here. So I've got a new set coming, but these have got to sit in here, so this flamethrower has got to be detachable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using Chicago screws, which are these guys, and that's going to make this a semi-detachable piece on there. Now I considered using magnets, but I think magnets might play with the circuit board. I'm not too happy putting them really close to the circuit board. So this is going to be screwed on, and sort of before each troop I'd have to sort of unscrew it and turn it on. Not a bit of a pain, but not really an issue. So I'm going to drill into here and get this attached with those screws. I'm also going to start gluing bits together, which includes this section to the front of the flamethrower. They've all been scuffed up, so I can just use some super glue and get that on there. And then we're just going to drill holes and things in top and get it all looking pretty. Definitely this way. Get some kicker on there too. So there are now 2 Chicago screws holding this guy in. There's one here and one at the other end up here. Like I said, this is a semi-permanent way to hold this flamethrower on. It looks great, and I can get to the electronics if I need to. I think I just need to slacken my tolerances a little bit on this because it's a little bit tight and not sitting properly, which means just loosening the holes, but that'll be fine. As you can also see, there are these little nozzles here, and these attached to the hoses which go up the sleeve. There were threads cast into this piece, so I've just screwed these in and attached them with a bit of super glue too. Yeah, that looks great. Oh, I love buttons. So there's lots of bits to attach, like this piece up here. Now these are just being attached with screws going from the inside, so I've just got to line up holes and drill pilot holes through here and into here, and then we just screw in the screw. Just marking out where I'm going to put the piece on this side, which is going to go there. I'm just going to pop in 2 screws to hold that guy in. So I've got my controller here, and it can run off of AAA batteries instead of the AA's, which would go in here. So I'm just going to cut these off and then solder on the new box. So that's it, that's the gauntlets all complete. It actually wasn't as daunting as I thought it was going to be. As you can see, they look pretty great. This one's in particular is quite heavy because it's got that machined rocket on top, but I'm just going to have to get used to that with this costume. Of course there are ways to make it lighter. We could have this as a cast or a 3D print, but I just love the way it looks, to be honest, and it feels like, you know, sort of legitimate, like it should. So as you saw, the way we get these on is we pull the pin and the gauntlets just open up. I'll pop on for you. There we go. Look at that. They look absolutely fantastic on. As you can see, the fit is actually quite tight. It's pretty good. There's not a lot of room for me to actually get my arm in. I have tested it with the flight suit. It is fine, but it's a little bit of a squeeze. Like I said, I've got the electronics up in this side, so when I press this button, when I'm wearing the full costume, when it's all together, it's going to be doing something, so that's great. You know, I just love the tactile nature of things. I love switches and things. I don't know if it's like, you know, there's a name for things like that, but I love being able to flip switches, press buttons. You know, there's a lot of things on here that switch, and I love it. That's the Jango Fett gauntlets. I hope you enjoyed watching me put these together. Like I said, it was a lot less stressful than I thought it was going to be. The hinge was probably the hardest thing to do. But other than that, these are looking fantastic and are ready to join my costume. I think I will do a weathering pass once I have all the armour together, just to tie all these in, use some of those water mixable oils, just to get it all looking nice. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do remember to like and subscribe, and of course I will see you guys in the next video, and until then, take care. Bye bye.